So we're getting close to Halloween, and for me that means watching a lot of Halloween movies. And I know you mentioned that you've recently seen a great horror movie.
The movie that I recently watched and had a blast with is called The Ape Man. It's a really bad horror movie, I'm not gonna lie, from 1943. It was made by Monarch Pictures, which was basically specialized in crappy B-movies and serials that would play before the main picture. This is not a particularly long movie. It's about an hour, and it stars Bela Lugosi as a man who injects himself with a serum from the spine of a gorilla or some nonsense, and turns himself into a gorilla man. And now he's frantically trying to figure out how to turn himself back into an actual human. And like I said, it's a terrible little B movie from the early 40s. It's got a ludicrous plot. Bela Lugosi turned into a monkey. He's got a gorilla. He goes around killing people, just steal their spinal fluids to inject into himself so he can become a man again. His sister is some kind of spiritualist or something, a medium, I don't know. He's got this other professor friends that he bullies into injecting him with the serum made from spinal fluid, which kills the person that he steals it from, and he gets cold feet, and then conflict ensues, and it's dumb, but it's Bela Lugosi with a gorilla. And honestly, I'm kind of obsessed with gorillas anyway. I love guys in gorilla suits. I think it was just I was born in the early 70s, so I kind of grew up with the whole Planet of the Apes 70s version of King Kong. I was just kind of soaked in that as a baby. So now I just love idiots running around in gorilla suits making noises and chasing after women, and Bela Lugosi, it's still Bela Lugosi. He still has that classic stare, and he has his accent, and he's still doing all his gestures, and it's just a joy to watch. But he's all hunched over, he's got his arms dragging around on the floor, and he's got this mutton chop from hell on his face to make him kind of sort of look like a monkey.
It looks like, you can watch it on a full version on YouTube.
Yeah, the whole version is on YouTube.
And his facial hair is ridiculous.
It's just crazy. He's got these crazy mutton chops, and at one point he does go back to being normal, but it's such a low budget that they don't have the typical transformations scene that you'd expect, like with Lon Chaney Jr., where they show him with the makeup and then they slowly take the makeup off until he's Bela Lugosi again. And then when he starts turning back, they put the makeup back on, or with them being cheap, they just run the film in reverse, but they didn't even get that cheap. So there's no transformation. His transformation scene is he stands up. So it's that kind of movie.
Good posture.
And
posture.
Meanwhile, the protagonists in the story are a newspaper reporter who's basically hassling everybody, trying to get a story on Bela Lugosi because he's supposedly missing. And it's the newspaper reporter and his photographer, who happens to be the woman/love interest of the story. So through the whole movie, the reporter, who's supposed to be the good guy, is just being a total dick to his photographer because she has the wrong set of genitals, and it's got all that 40s sexism in it, and it's just really cringy and stupid. But as a B-movie horror flick, It's a lot of fun, and I love anything Bela Lugosi's in. He's just a brilliant actor for what he does, and I love it. But the reason why I really, really like this movie is because of a little stupid gimmick they threw in. Because, like I said, this was a company known for bad B movies, and they had to put in a little something extra because the movie was so terrible. So there's this dude in the movie. He's played by Ralph Littlefield, who's one of those that guys that nobody's ever heard of, but if you watch a lot of old movies, you'll recognize his face, because he's got this weird kind of hit in the face with a shovel kind of face, and he's kind of got a goofy bumpkin kind of look at him. And if you look on his IMDb page, he's got all these uncredited roles as farmer or man on stoop or bumpkin, and he's just that guy. If you need a local yokel in your movie, you call Ralph. So he's in this movie, but nobody can really tell what the hell he's doing in there, because when you first see him, it's the opening scene, and there's a bunch of reporters waiting to see the professor because they want to interview him about Bela Lugosi's character's disappearance. And this dude just goes up to the reporters and points out, "Oh, hey, the dude you want to interview is coming through the door now. I'd go get him." And I'm like, "Who the heck are you?" And when they're trying to interview him, he's butting his nose in, and then in later scenes, he just shows up everywhere. The first time you see Bela Lugosi down in the basement, where he's hiding out because he's a gorilla now, which is a brilliant bad B-movie set. It's got a gorilla in a cage. You have to pull a lever to open up the cage. There's all the random science equipment with beakers and twisty pipes and all that generic crap, with no Jacob's ladders because they couldn't afford that because this was too, low budget for electrical props. But they're all down there having their scene, and then you see this bumpkin just staring through the window, just peeping in on him. So now this guy's a peeping Tom, but he doesn't tell anybody that Bela Lugosi has turned into a gorilla. He just laughs at it. And he does that at least 2 different houses, if not 3. He's just wandering around scenes like he owns the place. During the big climax, where Bela Lugosi and the gorilla escape from the basement to go on their killing spree, which is just fun to watch. I mean, you have to sit through about a half an hour crap before you get to it. But when Bela Lugosi and dude in gorilla suit, which I had the name of the guy, but I lost it. I think his first name is Emil. But the story with this guy is he played in a lot of movies just as the gorilla, simply because he owned a gorilla suit. And his movie career ended when he was behind on his rent, and his landlady kicked him out of his apartment and kept his gorilla suit. So that's the tragedy of the gorilla of the ape man. But they're running around, killing people, and they've grabbed a couple people's spinal fluids, and then you cut to a scene of a pretty lady just walking down the street in the middle of the night, and Bumpkin shows up and say, "Miss, I don't think you should go that way. I'd turn around if I were you." It's like, what in the hell? Where is this guy coming from? So he saves this lady. I guess he goes out for a cup of coffee with her or something. I don't know. And then, so they hop in some other lady's window and kill her instead, because she was just sitting there, in her bed sleeping. So this guy just keeps showing up. Who is this guy? And eventually, this is the main plot of the story. Who the is this guy? Why is he here? So the big climax happens. The police show up. Idiot reporter and photographer end up wandering around the dark, spooky house with ape man and gorilla on the loose. Everything good happens, and the day is saved. So, very last scene in the movie, reporter and the photographer are walking home, about to get into their car. Reporter is being an absolute jerk again, basically treating the photographer like crap, and actually comes out and says, I ought to bend you over my knee and give you a good spanking.
I ought to put you over my knee and paddle you good.
Which is, 40s cringeworthy sexist stuff. And then my buddy pops up, sitting in their car, in the passenger seat, scolds the guy, don't be a chump.
Don't be a chump.
And they're like, why are you in our car? Who are you? Last shot of the movie, this dude looks out the car window. Me? I'm the author of the picture. Screwy idea, wasn't it?
Hey, what are you doing in my car? Who are you anyway? Me? Oh, I'm the author of the story. Screwy idea, wasn't it?
So breaking the fourth wall.
I saw that, completely broke the fourth wall. Not just broke through it. I mean, he Kool-Aid Man right through it, staring right at the audience. I'm the author. Isn't this such a fun little dumb movie? And he actually rolls up the window, which has painted on it "The End," and then peeks out between the letters to close out the movie. And that was the funniest damn thing I've ever seen in a terrible B-movie in my life. And between that guy and Bela Lugosi, this might be my favorite terrible B-movie now.
Yeah, I mean it.
I swear, I think I woke up half the neighborhood laughing at that idiot.
Bela Lugosi's dead. The bats have left the bell tower.
I must have human spinal fluid injected into me. It's my only chance.
Bela Lugosi's dead.